I'm at Disney's Pop Century Resort to give you a little tour of the property. So how about you and I dive right in? Now driving up to the hotel, you're going to be greeted by the giant marquee sign out front, and of course, all the 5 different sections that this hotel is made up of: the 1950s, 1960s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Of course, out front is the shuttle pickup for the rest of the resort property. Buses will take you to the 2 water parks or the 4 theme parks that are on site here, as well as Disney Springs. And in addition to the shuttle buses, there also is a Disney Skyliner station here. Now upon entry, here is the main lobby. This is where you can check in. And also what's really convenient is you can check in mobily on your phone when you book your vacation. Look, they're running to the parks with excitement. Check-in is incredibly easy, especially if you have your Magic Band, and you can get into your room with your Magic Band as well. It's super easy. I love this wall right when you walk in. It's like a different timetable of back in the day in the 50s all the way up to the 90s. And what's cool is they have like bits of technology from those different eras as well. Of course, here on the 1955 section, we got the opening of Disneyland. Now this property is pretty popular because it is a value resort. It's going to be one of your cheaper options on property, as well as Art of Animation, which is its sister hotel, which is just right next door. It actually has like the same layout. Of course, it's the holiday season and they deck the place out for Christmas. This tree is really beautiful. They have a very large gift shop on site. This is also where you would go to the cafe. Here in the gift shop, you can see this thing is massive. It's almost like the size of World of Disney back home at Disneyland. This is huge. You can get just about everything here, from sunscreen to towels, luggage, Magic Bands, pins, necessity things. Like if you forget something at CVS or whatever, you can probably get it here. Now this is what the seating arrangement looks like here in the cafe. Plenty of room on both sides. And because they're doing the mobile ordering, you have to place a mobile order before you come in here. Again, it's super easy. If you have the Walt Disney World app downloaded on your phone, it's really convenient. Once your food is ready, it'll tell you what window to go to, and each of these sections are numbered. So you just walk up and grab your food and go. There's no need to do anything else. Decided to get my elixir of life, Joffrey's coffee. I'm gonna let this cool down as we're walking around doing the tour, because this is the surface temperature of the sun right now. And right when you walk out, you're gonna be greeted with this giant pop sign, but of course, also greeted by one of 3 pools on property. There aren't any jacuzzis, unfortunately, but there are 3 pools and a kiddie pool. And as far as the sections are concerned, this is the 60s section. So let's kind of walk around this and then move on to the others. Now, like I said, the hotel has 5 different sections, the 50s through the 90s. So let's start off with the 50s and work our way up to as close to modern day time as possible. So yeah, let's head over to the 50s section area of this property. Alrighty, we've made it to the 50s. This entire section is made up of a few buildings, and they don't really go that tall. This is about as high as the towers go, so I really wouldn't consider that a tower. And this is the pool. It's shaped like a bowling pin. I think that's pretty cool. Of course, look at that in the back. It's a giant tableside jukebox. How cool. That would be pretty awesome if they have speakers up on top and they'd play like all the old 50s music over here while you're hanging out at the pool. And yes, the 50s does contain a little laundry area, so if you need to get some laundry done on your trip, if you're staying for a hot minute, you'll be able to do that. Wow, my hands are burning. I love how they do the giant bowling pins for the stairs on each end of the different buildings. Now remember, when you check in, they're gonna give you a building number. Each building is numbered. So for example, this one says 3, and over here, this one says 2. So again, if you're confused and you're like, oh, well, where the heck is my room at? Because there's, 6 different buildings in this particular section, don't worry. They have them all numbered for you, and they're on either end. So, and they're on those flags. So they're pretty easy to see. You can kind of see another one out there in the distance. And the first day is a little rocky because you're just kind of exploring, but after the first day, it gets easier and easier. And what's also neat, scattered throughout the different decades, they have a bunch of characters hanging out. So we got Tramp over here, and of course, good old lady. As we transition from the 50s to the 60s, look at this, a giant yo-yo. I like how the 60s pool is like a giant groovy flower. Look at this massive bucket of Play-Doh. Anybody play with Play-Doh? I did. Oh look, they even have the pieces that make the different shapes. Just don't eat it. All right, let's see if I can actually drink this. Yeah, 3rd degree burn. The 60s is home to the little kiddie pool. This is perfect for the little ones. It's probably not even a foot deep. It's just enough to play around. Mowgli and Baloo call the 60s home. Look at that, they even got a jungle scape right behind them. This is also home to the elevators. Usually where the characters are is where you can get up to your different level. Oh look, happiness. Alrighty, we made it to the 70s. My goodness, all this time travel. It's getting crazy. Look at those amazing shoes. And over here, we're greeted by a giant foosball table. Look at this. That's really neat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's just please have a fair and safe game. Our good old pal Mickey Mouse is the referee. You know, I gotta say it's a pretty accurate representation of how big phones really were in the 70s. And just like in the other decades, the towers still remain at 4 different levels. Again, easy to find, especially because we have these context clues kind of scattered around. Of course, if you are towards the big wheel tower, you always remember to go back to that. And again, the elevators are located right behind those big showpieces. Oh, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. It's nice to see you this morning. Wow, look at this giant Rubik's Cube. Now, the 80s and the 90s are in one particular section. So we have the 80s buildings in front of me and then the 90s buildings in the far back. Now, again, here are some more flags kind of telling you what building you're located in. So, for example, again, this is building 9 in the 80s and 90s section. And the first number is, of course, the building number, and the second number is your floor number. And right smack dab in the middle of the 80s and 90s buildings is, of course, the pool. This is the 3rd pool on property. Remember, there are no jacuzzis here, just 3 pools and a kiddie pool. Oh, wow, does anyone remember those? Giant floppy disks by the pool. Oh, wow, look at this massive computer. Again, an accurate representation of how big computers were in the 90s. And again, what's really nice is they also have guest laundry on this end of the property. It is really nice, you know, especially if you have a rental car, you can head over to like a Walmart or a CVS or a grocery store, whatever, and pick up what you need. And of course, pick up some laundry pods or detergent or whatever. And that way, midway through your trip, you could just do a load of laundry. That way you have nice, fresh, clean clothes for the excitement that awaits. All these rooms, by the way, I believe were recently renovated, or at least a majority of them. I think they're still working on some, but they're really nice. And we'll move on to that next. I recorded that at a slightly earlier time frame, but yeah, the room is very nice. And again, if you're very familiar with the Art of Animation Hotel, it is a sister resort. So again, it's pretty much the same layout and the rooms are very similar. I don't know if they've renovated the rooms over there yet, but because they renovated these ones, they might move on to that property next. You're good to go, and here is the room. Look at this. Ooh. This is just standard room, not too shabby. Nice and clean. I love the orange accents there in the back with the orange door. Have a nice little place for, I believe, your coffee. Have some cups and ice little tray for us, ice container. The outlets right there. There's outlets on the bottom, and then there's, I put some groceries right here, but there's outlets right here with USB ports, which is nice. Standard queen size bed. And look at that, Mickey Mouse saying, oh boy. Right underneath the TV, it's really convenient how they have the USB ports right here as well. And they have another one on the other side. So you got plenty of places to charge all your devices, get everything charged up for the parks, and of course TV's displaying some very useful information. Let's go into the restroom here. Oh, hello. It's actually really nice. I have a nice little sink, tons of storage. We have an ironing board right here, place to hang some clothes. I really like this. It's a lot different than what I expected. I have a little beauty mirror here that turns on. Look at that. Nice, warm, beautiful, makes you look great. And then here's the shower. Really nice bathroom too. Again, I was not expecting this. This is really, really nice. Nice size shower. Oh wow, look at the shampoo and conditioner that comes with it actually give you quite a bit. I was not expecting that. And this is like a nice little material. Look at that, we have the regular shower head and we got a rain shower going on. It's really nice. Of course, this is pull out to hang your swimsuit or whatever, if you never knew what that was for. I love how the room has a mini fridge, so it's perfect if you're here for like the week or something. You go to the grocery store, grab a couple things that'll fit in there, you know, like some juices or whatnot. And yeah, you're solid. And we have some storage in here as well. Look at that, coffee creamer, tea. Love that. And we got some sugar. And now if you're wondering, well, isn't there supposed to be another bed in this room? There is. It's actually tucked away in this magical compartment here. You just go ahead and yank on these. This comes down. Look at that. This is, I'm actually not, wow, hi. But that was not hard to do, by the way. If you're wondering, oh my God, do I need like a team of people? No, you're good. That was super easy. And look at that, we have Pluto dreaming of a delicious bone. So yeah, if you are a family of 4 and you just want to get a standard room and you know, not break the bank too much, this is perfect. This is a perfect little room. Sleeps up to 4. Bathrooms super nice and clean, up to date and modern. And yeah, I mean, there's plenty of storage. There's plenty of plugs to plug all your stuff in. Of course, they have the phones. You need to dial the front desk. Remember, don't forget the, just like how we can do everything on the watch as far as like wireless everything, you could do that with the Magic Band. So Magic Band entry into the room, Magic Band entry for everything, and you can do a mobile check-in, so you don't even have to go to the front desk, do everything on the app, super easy and convenient, and you're good to go. Look at this beautiful view, by the way. This is Hourglass Lake, and those buildings over there across the way are the Art of Animation buildings. You can kind of see some of the drawings on the side. But yeah, this is definitely a very pretty view. And as far as the cleanliness of the property, I would say this is a really clean resort. I'm seeing customers constantly keep things, you know, spick and span. The room was immaculate when we walked in, so there was no issues there. And as far as the room service is concerned, I think they only come in a couple times through your stay if you're staying here quite some time. I don't think they come in at all if you're staying here just a short period of time, similar to other hotels. But again, everything as far as coming in and walking around the property is pretty clean. Huge shout out to all the cast members here at Walt Disney World that are keeping things clean and tidy. You know, I really do appreciate it, and I'm sure millions of other people do, especially during this period of time. I love these seating areas that are just kind of scattered throughout the area as well. This one overlooks the Hourglass Lake over towards Art of Animation. I do believe there are 1 or 2 smoking sections on property. I'm not entirely sure on that because I haven't seen really any signage. And I know Disney's been kind of like removing those areas, but I think there are a couple smoking sections here on property. But just go ahead and ask a cast member for those that do want to find those locations. Now, as far as the Skyliner is concerned, it's actually pretty easy to find. At the main lobby of the hotel, the very front where we walked in, you just walk out those doors from where like the cafe and all that fun stuff is, and the groovy flower 70s pool, and you just walk straight back. Walk all the way back and boom, the magical Skyliner. Be sure to arrive early in the morning if you do want to take the Skyliner. The line does get pretty lengthy, but thankfully this system is incredibly efficient. You can see how fast it's going. But again, a super convenient way to get to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. You can also access Caribbean Beach Resort, the Riviera Hotel, and parts of the boardwalk when you head over towards Epcot. It's really nice. And again, this is also connected to the Art of Animation. It's just a big giant bridge that goes over the middle of Hourglass Lake. This thing is incredible. I love taking it. I honestly love this more than the Disney shuttles. And I hope sometime in the future they expand this to the other parks because it's just so darn good. Yeah, I would definitely come back and stay here for sure. Of course, there's plenty of other hotels on Disney World property that I would love to experience and have a lengthy stay at. But you know, saving money is also great, and that's what I always try to do. I just try to save some cash on just about everything. And like I said before, if you're wanting to do that, Pop Century is perfect. Because honestly, when you really think about it, are you really staying that long in the hotel? I mean, you're going to be in the parks, you're going to be at Disney Springs, you're going to be going to other theme parks. You're not really going to be spending too much time, you know, at the hotel. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this hotel exploring video of Disney's Pop Century Resort. I hope it was useful. I hope it was helpful for those planning a trip here. Again, this hotel is pretty affordable. It's one of the most affordable ones at Disney World. So if you're looking to save a few bucks and you'd rather spend that extra money inside the parks on souvenirs, whatever, this is a pretty good option. But thank you again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Huge shout out to my Buy Me a Coffee members that help me out monthly and support. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you that watch, like, and subscribe to the channel. It just really means the world to me. I have an Instagram account. I'll leave that link down below in the description, as well as the website for this particular property. I'll just go ahead and leave the Walt Disney World link down in the description as well. But other than that, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.